March this year is the month of achievement. We will be accomplishing lots of things. And for a year of work and a year of studying, soon you will get your reward. So this is the month that we will be considering success or achievement that parents will be happy to see. Will your parents be happy sitting down there as you look up and receive rewards, not only diploma? Or your parents would rather not be present? Question. So this is the month that we will be seeing tears, not because they are sad. So maybe next year, some will be having tears of regret. Or parents who will be seeing their children not achieving anything. Or the worst, when your first year, you go back to first year again, next year. So the board tells us here, man's success differs with God's success. So we have two views. What man has considered to be the way of achieving success or achievement may be different from God's own way of doing things or achieving things that will give glory to Him and be to the praises of people. So the title of our message this morning is, what is success in your eyes? We may have a different way of having success, but that's according to your eyes. What about God's way of achieving or getting success in life? This is found in Luke chapter 12, verse 16 to 21. You say Luke here because he's a doctor by profession. He's a doctor. He's with Paul in the different missionary journey of Paul. Because Paul is sickly. The Lord did not heal Paul. God gave him a friend, a professional doctor to be with him. So this was written by Paul. Now, shall we all first stand as we read Luke chapter 12, verse 13 to 21. We sign verse 13 together. Ready? Begin. Someone in the crowd said to him, "Teacher, tell my brother to divide the inheritance with me." Jesus replied, "Men, who appoint me a judge or an arbiter between you?" Then he said to them, "Watch out, be careful, be on your guard against all kinds of greed. Life does not consist in an abundance of possession." And he told them this parable. The ground of a certain rich man yielded abundant harvest. Then he said, "This is what I'll do. I will tear down my barns and build bigger ones, and there I will store my supplies of grain. And I'll say to myself, you have plenty of grains laid up for many years. Take life easy. Eat, drink, and be merry." But God said to him, "You fool, this very night your life will be demanded from you. Then who will get what you have prepared for yourself? This is how it will be with whoever stores up things for themselves, but is not rich towards God." May the Lord bless the reading of His holy word. Thank you. And so when we say here, man's success differs with God, because we see here in the parable of a successful man. But In the end, Jesus said, this is what will happen to whoever stores up a position but is not rich before God. To a man who possesses things in this life, maybe that is success to him. But to God, God looks at it in a different way. If we are rich here on earth, but is not rich before God, that is not success to God. That may be a success to man if you have everything in this earth, but is poor there in heaven. How do we send materials in heaven that we will become rich in heaven? So, riches here on earth, temporary. They are but temporary, and they are in the danger when thieves comes and steal them. Or if there's no thieves stealing them, rust and white ants destroys them, just like a house, just like your bed. You thought it's a strong bed, but there's ants. Slowly but surely destroys your property. So, the title of our message this morning is about this rich fool whom Jesus said, a fool, but according to man's eyes and according to man's judgment, maybe we'll question the Lord. Lord, why do you call this man a fool? Why? Let us examine how did he succeeded and how did this man become wealthy or rich. Many people would judge that this man, being a farmer, is successful. He has succeeded in gaining the needed positions that he need to have in this earth. For example, here, how did he succeed? Number one, verse 16 tells us, the land of the rich man brought forth harvest. So what's the meaning? The farmer look at his farm, look at his land. Lots of harvest. There is in the book of Proverbs that a lazy man will wake up to see that his land is full of thorns and the fence broken. There is in the book of Proverbs telling us, to those others, they have land, but the land, sometimes when you travel, you see lands filled only with grasses. And if it is before fence, the fence is broken and wild animals enters. If there are fruits in the land, they are being destroyed and will not be harvested for the use of people. But here notice that this man, according to man's judgment as we observe him, he did succeed in that. Number one, we could see in verse 16, this man is industrious. Why? Is there a verse that tells us that he was industrious? No. We guess it only. Please go back to verse 16. Verse 16. And he told a parable, the ground of a certain rich man yielded abundant harvest. You see, that is where I get the idea that this man is industrious. The word industrious is not there, but it is true. It says here, the ground, meaning this man owns a land. The ground of a certain rich man yielded abundant harvest. Meaning, how can you have a harvest if you are lazy? If you are not industrious? So, meaning, he has a land. And because he is industrious, go back, he is industrious, that's the reason why the ground of this rich man yielded abundant harvest. What is the harvest, for example, before in the time of Jesus? It's not durian. It's not yung purple na mangosteen. It's not pumilo sa mga kalbo. No. In the story, Jesus is referring to the time in Jerusalem when they planted grapes, right? Or wheat. They are not eating rice. They are having wheat. Okay, so this then speaks that this farmer, in the eyes of men, he is a hero. He is a great man. Why? He uses his ground, his land. There is no picture of industrious man's sin here, but we could imagine how can the land yield abundant harvest? How? Paano ba? Tell me. How will that land, if you will not work on it, not about to plow, you clean the grasses, how can wheat grow? How? Tell me. It says that it yield abundant harvest, meaning this man early in the morning goes there to clean the land. If he has money, he must have hired people, you work for me, I'll pay you. So they go there and prepare the land. That's the reason was that is the only way that the ground could yield abundant harvest, right? That land, if we are not working in there, how can the plant or the vegetables grow there? How? There are some wild plants that if we just leave the ground, they will grow, but not so much. Not until you work hard and you prepare the ground and you spend your money, you buy fertilizer and take care of the grasses. Because if there are two good plants or vegetables growing, there are also grasses, weeds that will grow with it, that it will not be so fat and it will not give you abundant harvest. Pag naada fruits na nag-grow, you did not plant it, there are also weeds that grows with the fruit. If you will not take care of it, if you will not rise up early in the morning and clean and put fertilizer, it won't grow. Maybe the harvest is only few. Ang guwaba, wild, bayaan mo. You have fruits, but they are small and not so much, not abundant harvest. You can only be sure of abundant harvest if and only if you take care. Who has farm at home? My farm. Oh, si Brent daw, my farm. So you know that in the farm, when you wake up, 7 o'clock is late. In the farm, 5 o'clock, people works there when there's no sun yet. Early in the morning, they get the carabao and plow the ground. Work. I mean, it is hot, they rest. Do not go there late. The ground will get angry. So you understand that indeed, this man, if judged by the people, he succeeded, right? And his method, his way of getting this success is right. How? By being industrious. What's the meaning of industrious? What's the meaning of industrious? Definition of industrious. Old, obsolete meaning, old meaning is skillful and ingenious. Meaning you have an idea. Nobody taught you. It's yourself. How? You invent ways. Good ways. That's industrious. But the present meaning it is habitually active or you occupy or you use. Now, when we talk about industrious, we could understand it clearly through the other meaning, the synonyms. And synonyms meaning the same meaning. So, meaning it is active. Industrious, active, tama? Kaya ang lazy, hindi active. Ang lazy, what do you do with your hands? You keep your hands under your feet. Ang person nga, kita ako mga Afrikano. When I went to Africa, I peep at the window, early in the morning, 5 o'clock. They stand under the trees. But they do like that because it's cold. And when they speak, there are smoke coming out of their mouth because it's cold. And then they stand tall and straight, not moving. What are you doing there? Idle. Not active. So industrious, the meaning is active. You have lots of plans and action. That is industrious. Kung maganyan ka, okay na ako nag-aupo. Okay na ako nag-aupo. Kung nag-stand ka, do not keep your hands. Especially when you work in the office. Now, sa office, you are not keeping your hands because your hands is holding a cell phone. False industry. Now it is also, what is this? Diligent meaning when he works. He's not working one half work. Or when you teach. A diligent worker works with a focus. Do you do that? A diligent student studies with a focus. Long time studying, not study. Diligence meaning you give your heart and your mind focus to what you are doing. You are focused to what you are doing. Then, another meaning of industrious is you are presently employed. Meaning, if you are doing this, what are you doing? Are you working? Are you employed? You applied and accepted? You are busybodies, gossiping only. That's the other meaning. Then, engage. In this not engage in a work. Meaning you have engaged to a work. You are connected to the work. Where are you working? BMI. I'm working there. Where are you working? No, I'm standing. So that's not the meaning of industry. Another meaning is busy, laborious. You labor, work. That's laborious, meaning your work continues. Not you work and then you stop, and then you visit other countries. You are tied up or working. The opposite meaning is idle. No work, nothing. You see things to be done, you see grasses, you have not an idea. You are not ingenious. So a person who is skillful and ingenious, when he wakes up and see the land, he does not see the wind. He does not see the grasses and the rocks there. Alam niyo ang mga the Israelites, their land is desert. It's not rich, tama? Ang sa desert, it's alikabok. There is no fertilizer in there. What do they do? So that it will yield abundant harvest. They have to dig. I remember before we were in Laguna, The land is brown, is clay. If you plant, it will die. There is no fertilizer. What do we do? Idea. Ano na? Ingenious idea. Mag-give up ka? I will not plant anyway. The land is not rich, is not fertile. There's no medicine. So give up. No plant. No. We dig a hole and then put in there. We gather the carabao manure, goat, and the old that will be rotten, the banana peelings, put in there. You wait and you plant. Ingenious idea. That is industrious. Meaning. So, number one, how does this man succeed? Wow. Observe mo, this man is industrious. Because Jesus did not tell that this man is industrious. Jesus just told us. Hidden na siya na hidden, tago. Jesus said, the land of this rich man yielded abundant harvest. There were now wheats ready to be harvested. And when you gather the harvest, it could not get inside the room. Full. Wow. What do you do? Then you think, this man must be industrious. This man, he have encountered problem with the plants, but he overcome it. How? Don't give up. Some other lands may be full of rocks, big rocks. So if there are big rocks there, how can you plant? So you have to again, to the corner, so that you will have big space for your plantation. So that's number one. We see that this man is industrious. Good. Kayo, balik ko sa inyo. Industrious kayo. If you are a student, are you industrious? I question. Because I give you assignment, you memorize. Love found a way. I see you together with your friends, texting and texting. Meaning there is no ingenuity, there is no idea in your mind. Because a wise person will think, why will I spend my time, hours of texting and texting? There is no good fruit that will come to me. But if I will use it in memorizing or in planting, then I will harvest fruits. Yesterday, they worked on the fence. If you're industrious, what is the fruit that will be your reward? You know what? You'll be skilled later. Because of your experience, later when you have grown up and you get married and there's no work, you're out. Your neighbor will say, do you know how to make a fence? That's your reward. But if you do not know, and if you're lazy, you have not encountered problem and experience what to do, how? Later when you will be given a work, I don't know, so you will not be accepted doing a work. Mga boys na lang. That is part of learning. That is vocational training. And before the Jewish men, kung man ka, ang mga babae, before wala work, the Jewish man, the Jewish boy, the father, even though the father is able to send him to college, the father must teach him trade in his hand, vocational work. That's why Paul, even though Paul is a lawyer, he is a graduate, under the famous school, his teacher is G.A.M. Gamaliel. Paul knows how to make a tent maker in Mindanao, sa Boy Scout. Paul knew that, so that it supported him. Jesus, as a boy, do you know what did he do? He did not know. Jesus was a carpenter. His father Joseph taught him, kapinin, si Nathaniel. Ang papa ni Nathaniel, si Nathaniel, Nag-learn. O, tayo, ano kayo? Dito sa Limay, nag-work. Si Aswila, what do you do? Later, when you grow up and you need money to buy milk, because the work is closed, you don't know how to find money. So, at the time when Paul, he is a lawyer, but he's not having a salary when he worked as a missionary. So, he support himself how? By making tents. Jesus supporting the family when he was at the age of 22, 23, 24, up to 30. Supporting the family and his Mother Mary through carpentry. So the neighbor said, is this not Jesus who works at the carpentry shop? Vocational. That is industry. Do not be contented with your course, BRE. You must have knowledge how to use your hands, how to work. Magawa ka ng bricks. Maybe, that's some things. You guys are under sa mga girls now. Wala ka money? Money, ay. If you do not know how to do this, your mouth is busy. Sit na siya. Meaning, if your hand is occupied, your hands as a work, your mouth will close. But if your hands is empty, your mouth is busy. Tomorrow, trouble. Mag-usip. Okay, number 2. What is success to you? To this man, he was so industrious because his land yielded fruit. And it did not just come out like that. Meaning he was so industrious. Number 2, also, he was honest. I tell you, you will not succeed if you are not honest. How do I know that this man in the story of Jesus is an honest man? How? How do I know? You know what? Because you cannot deceive the land. You land, I will, so that it will have abundant, and I will work less. You will give me abundant harvest, so I will cheat you. Can you cheat the land? Huh? Can? If you want, for example, if you are a worker and you cheat your boss, what do you do? So, you enter, you put your name, the signature, and you put the daily time record. Type 8-7. Wait. How can this farmer check the land? How? The ground. You cannot check the ground. But I plant only 1, you give me 100. You must be honest to the ground. You cannot check the ground. So, I observe that this man is honest. Not only industrious, but also honest. Meaning, the ground says to the man, you must wake up early if you want abundant harvest. You need much preparation. Wake up early in the morning, go there and clean the land and cut the ground. If you cheat me, you will not clean the ground and plant. You are so in a hurry, you just pull the weeds and plant. Mag-grow payat. Meaning you cheated me. The ground says, you cheated me. But if you take care of the ground, you cultivate it, you put fertilizer, you are honest, you are caring the plant, it will yield abundant harvest. You see? Honesty. You do that. So good. This man is industrious. This man is honest. There